Hello guys, it's Vaishnavi Vedi with the new poem The Gift of India by Sarojini Naidu. First stanza speaks. Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment or green or gold? Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures torn from my breast, and yielded the sons of my stricken warm to the drum beats of duty, the sabres of doom. In the first stanza, Mother India calls out to the British who have colonized India and asks if she has withheld any of her riches from them like garments, grain or gold. She exclaims that more than these worldly riches she has sacrificed to the east and the west the lives of her priceless Indian sons. She has given up the sons born out of her own womb to serve the British cause in the First World War. The second stanza speaks. Gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by the Persian waves. Scattered like shells on Egyptian sands, they lie with pale brows and brave broken hands. They are strewn with blossoms mown down by chance on the blood brown meadows of Flanders and France. Mother India laments the loss of the lives of her beloved sons, that is, the Indian soldiers who were sent to foreign countries by the British to fight for them. She alludes to Persia, now Iran, Egypt, Flanders, which is Belgium, and France, the specific lands wherein the Indian soldiers were sent to war by the British. They obeyed the call of duty. Drum beats of the duty means the call of duty here, and sacrificed their lives. The word sabers of doom in the second stanza means sacrifice their lives. The Indian soldiers who fought for the Allies during the First World War never came back home, and like pearls, the lifeless soldiers lie buried in graves in alien lands. Some of them sleep silently along the shores in Persia, while others are scattered like broken shells on Egyptian sands. Still other brave Indian soldier with pale brows and broken hands lie scattered like flowers on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders, Belgium, and France. It means that the soldiers were bleeding so much that even the fields were colored by by their blood. The third stanza. Can ye measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer, and the far sad glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory? Mother India rhetorically puts forward the question whether anyone can measure the grief she has at the loss of her martyred sons. The grief tears her apart, but at the same time, the pride at her son's heroism overwhelms her despair. She bears immeasurable pain in giving away her dear sons to the colonizers' demand. But she hopes that this pain in her heart, while she prays, would be accepted, and one day hate and terror will come to an end, and this comforts her. The poet Sarojini Naidu is here hoping that a successful war of independence would be waged by the Indians against the Britishers, as signified by the word banner, and for which she feels glorious. But at the same time, she feels sad for the soldiers who were going to die for the cause, as signified by the banners being torn and colored by blood. Third stanza. When the terror and tumult of hate shall cease, and life be refashioned and anvils of peace, and your love shall offer memorable thanks to the comrades who fought in your dauntless ranks, and you honor the deeds of the deathless ones, remember the blood of my martyred sons. Mother India hopes that one day terror and hate shall cease, and it is then that life will be remolded with newfound peace. Mother India at the end demands only one thing from the British, that when out of love they will offer thanks and respect to the soldiers who fought valiantly. They should remember the brave soldiers of India who sacrificed their life. This was the poem based on the war and the grief which the soldiers were facing during the First World War. It is a patriotic poem, and Sarojini Naidu